Our workloads significantly increased in about every program area as people either lost employment or needed to make other arrangements due to childcare hardships or other things that were confronting them.
I would say that COVID added an extra layer of responsibility onto what I was already doing as the town manager and just trying to manage the day-to-day operations of the town. So there were a lot of additional meetings to attend with San Juan Basin Public Health, with the governor's office, and with different stakeholders in the community.
I'm a local business owner, and I can tell you that COVID certainly has been impactful. And I think as much as anything, it was the fear of the unknown. Will we be able to continue business? Will we lose everything that we have invested in trying to get this business up and off the ground and sustained over years? And will all of that have been in vain? So I can empathize with our local community and the business owners who did go out of business and who are no longer here in Archuleta County.
Our town council, right out of the gate, realized that there was going to be an impact on our local businesses and on our local organizations. And so they created some programming as early as March of 2020 to utilize public funds from the town to create grant programs and loan programs for small businesses and organizations. They also gave cards, Visa gift cards of $200 each to people who had recently been laid off due to COVID for individuals in the community.
So the county had received $265,000 in relief grants, and that was one way that the county helped the community through COVID. But also, as we had just spoke about, there was the food coalition that the county was involved in and trying to make sure that the people within our community were fed. And I know that I personally worked with Rotary. I'm a Rotarian, and one of our big programs is delivering backpacks for our school-age children. And when there was no school in session, that's a time that it really became important for the Food Coalition to bring all of the resources together that were working independently with our Archuleta County to continue to provide that service.
When you work in a small organization, in a small community, those who you serve are your neighbors, and that's really how my staff treat people that are coming to our agency for assistance. And I think that it's more meaningful for my team when we appreciate one another as community members, as neighbors, as individuals, whether that's borrowing a cup of sugar or processing an application for human services, really just has that much more human characteristic or quality to it in a small community like Pagosa.
On the win side, thankfully, we were able to continue to have strong sales tax revenues and lodging tax revenues throughout the year. I attribute that to our resilient businesses who were able to continue to do business in a different way. A lot of them have put up tents, allowed for takeout, and done some different things to just really be creative and resilient. And I really give them kudos to just keep going on and providing services in a new way.
Right now, Archuleta County is poised for a very bright future. We have so many things that are going well for us, and even in spite of COVID, from a revenue standpoint, we survived pretty well as a whole. And I think that this speaks to the resiliency of the people that live here and their willingness to reach out and to help their neighbor and their community.
I feel hopeful about the future. I feel like this community has shown that it can weather the storm. We're a beautiful community that people still want to come to. Businesses are continuing to thrive, and they've gotten really creative in their approach and doing things differently. Certainly there have been disagreements in the community about public health orders and how we should be approaching that. But I do think that overall people have really been looking out for one another, and that's given me hope.
My motto throughout all of this was chin up 6 feet apart, preferably wearing a mask, but always underneath that mask, remember to smile, because people can see through a mask. And that chin up portion, I think, is just something that I'm proud of this community for doing throughout all of this. Maintaining a positive attitude, supporting one another, and helping people out when they can and where they can.